The next topic is delocalized chemical bonding. So delocalized chemical bonding is also one of the important phenomena in organic chemistry. Before going to the topic of delocalized chemical bonding, we should know about localized chemical bonding. So localized chemical bonding is the nature of covalent bonding in which the formation of covalent bond takes place by sharing electrons between two nuclei only. So such kind of chemical bonding is called localized chemical bonding. For example, we have this kind of bonding in the case of alkene, alkane, alkynes, and many other kind of molecules. But the delocalized chemical bonding the sharing of electron is not between two nuclei. The electron shared between more than two nuclei. So the electron shared between more than two nuclei. Delocalized chemical bonding are of three types. Types number 1, double, triple covalent bond conjugated with another double or triple covalent bond. So one of the example is double bond or triple bond in conjugation with another double or triple bond. So what do you mean by conjugation? So if we have a double bond, or if we have a triple bond. So when we have two double bond or two triple bond, and these bonds are linked with each other through sigma bond. So such kind of things is called conjugation. So conjugation means that a double bond is connected with another double bond, or triple bond is connected with another triple bond through sigma bond. So such kind of conjugation is called double triple bond conjugated with another double or triple bond. The well-known example is 1,3-butadiene. So this is a well-known example, H2C double bond CH, CH double bond CH2. This can be explained on the basis of the nature of the hybridization, because we know that in this molecule we have sp2 type of hybridization. And we also know that each carbon has 3 p orbitals. So each of these carbon has 1 p orbital not involved in the sigma bond formation. So we have 4 different types of so this one is the 1 p orbital, another, and this is another. So we have 4 p orbitals which are not involved in the hybridization process. So these 4 p orbitals then combine and they will give us 4 molecular orbitals on the basis of different energies. So for example, the first one, we will get the first one as so this is the phi 1. bonding molecular orbital. And we know that there is a nodal plane between the two lobes which passes through the nuclei of these atoms. Another one is the so this one is the pi 2, and this is also the bonding molecular orbital, but we have a single node along with the nodal plane. The third one is the pi 3 star, and that is the anti-bonding molecular orbital. And the fourth one and we have 3 nodes along with the nodal plane, and this is the 5-4 star. So we have 4 different molecular orbitals and 4 electrons in the p orbitals. So these 4 electrons are then accommodated into the phi 1 and the phi 2 bonding molecular orbital according to the energy of these orbitals, because the phi 1 and phi 2 have less energy as compared to the anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So the energies of these molecular orbitals also depend upon the number of nodes. So greater the number of nodes, greater will be the energy of the molecular orbital, and less will be the stability of the molecular orbital. So the pi 1 has no node, pi 2 has 1, pi 3 has 2, and pi 4 has 4. So these two are the least stable molecular orbital as compared to the pi 1 and the pi 2. Other example in this type is H2C double bond CH Similarly, we can have a triple bond in conjugation with another triple bond. So you can draw the molecular orbital diagrams for this kind of molecule as well. The second example is double or triple bond in conjugation with a p orbital. Double, triple bond in conjugation with p orbital. Allylic system is one of the example in which we can observe this kind of delocalized chemical bonding. For example, if we take the example CH2 double bond CH2, so we have a positive, we have a radical, and we have a negative. So we have 3 different choices. Either it is the p orbital has no electron in the cationic form, 1 electron in the radical form, and 2 electron in the anionic form. So we have 3 different cases or 3 different choices. For example, if we take this p orbitals, 3 p orbitals, and then we combine, and it will give us a molecular orbital. So the first one will be in this form, and this is the pi 1. The second will be the pi 2. And the third one, so there is a 1 node. And we have 2 nodes. So this is the pi 3 star. So we have pi 1, the bonding molecular orbital, and the pi 2, which is considered as non-bonding molecular orbital. This is the bonding molecular orbital, and this is the anti-bonding molecular orbital. So this one is the non-bonding molecular orbital. So what are the non-bonding molecular orbital? So non-bonding molecular orbital can participate in the bond formation, but there is no loss or gain of energy. So due to the exchange of the electron, there will be no loss or gain of energy in this situation. While in the other case, like the bonding molecular orbital or the anti-bonding molecular orbital, when we are filling this kind of molecular orbital, then there will be the loss or gain of energy. For example, molecular orbital like phi 1, pi 2 and pi 3 star. So this is the bonding molecular orbital, the non-bonding molecular orbital and the anti-bonding molecular orbital. And now we have a cases: cationic, allylic system, radical and anionic. So in the case of cation, we have no electron with the third p orbital, this p orbital. And so we can only accommodate the 2 electron, and these 2 electrons will go to the phi 1. In the second case, because we have one extra electron in the one electron in the p orbital, so we will this kind of configuration that 2 electron will go to the phi 1 and 1 electron will go to the pi 2, that is the non-bonding molecular orbital. In the third case, we have 2 electron in the bonding molecular orbital and 2 electron in the non-bonding molecular orbital, while in the all cases there will be no electron in the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Similarly, the third type of the delocalized chemical bonding, which is called sigma bond in conjugation with double, triple or p orbital. And this is a special kind of delocalized chemical bonding which is called hyperconjugation. So the third type is sigma bond in conjugation with double, triple or even p orbital. And such kind of conjugation we are called hyperconjugation. For example, if we take the example of propylene. So propylene have 2 resonating structures. So one of the hydrogen from this carbon will be removed, and it will give us there will be a positive charge on the hydrogen. Now in this situation we have a resonating structure, but here the resonating structure, this resonating structure is formed only when we remove the hydrogen through space. So that is why this kind of resonance is also called no bond resonance. Because in this kind of resonance, there is no involvement of bond. The resonance is through space, and this is also called the hyperconjugation. Hyperconjugation has a number of applications. For example, this type of conjugation can explain the length, the bond length in different kind of molecules, bond length. For example, we have methyl acetylene. Now the observed CH3C bond, this bond, the observed CH3C bond length is 1.46 angstrom, which is less than the carbon observed CH3C bond length, which is less than the carbon-carbon, that is 1.54 angstrom. So why in this situation we have less bond length as compared to the single carbon, because this is also single bond. So this is less than the actual carbon-carbon single bond. So this can be explained on the basis of the partial double bond character of this molecule. And this partial double bond character can be explained on the basis of hyperconjugation. For example, if we have this molecule, so we will remove the hydrogen and the electron will shift it here, and we will get this kind of structure. So this kind of structure can be obtained in which we have a partial double bond, and that partial double bond has the bond length between the carbon-carbon sigma bond and actual bond 1.54. So that is why it can be only explained on the basis of the hyperconjugation. Another important implication is the stability of molecule. And the stability of the molecule can only be explained on the basis of the number of hydrogen bonds. How many carbon-hydrogen bonds are present in the conjugation? So, for example, if we take the example of isobutylene, and then compare it with 1-butene. If we compare the stability of 1-butene with isobutylene, so this is 1-butene. Now we can predict the stability on the basis of the number of hydrogen bond of with carbon near to the conjugated point. In this situation, we have 6 hydrogen in conjugation. 6 hydrogen in conjugation. 3 hydrogen with this methyl group and 3 hydrogen with this methyl group. So our total number of hydrogen are 6. So 6 hydrogen are in conjugation. While in this situation we have only 2 hydrogen. So here we have 6 hydrogen, while in this situation we have only 2 hydrogen in conjugation. So greater the number of hydrogen in conjugation, greater will be the stability of the molecule. So the stability of the molecule can be predicted on the basis of hyperconjugation.